Hi everybody, this is Matt. Thanks for watching and welcome back. I get a lot of questions from new people who have just obtained their concealed weapons permit or their CHL or their permit to carry concealed weapons, permit to carry weapons, whatever it's called in your jurisdiction. And quite often, these folks don't have a handgun or pistol yet. So they ask questions. And a typical exchange goes something like this. Matt, I'm new to the world of concealed carry. I got my permit, but yet I don't have my first handgun and pistol. What I have been doing is I've been doing research. I've been reading the gun magazines and seeing what's out there. I've been watching videos on the internet, but I'm a little bit confused as to what might work for me. Can you help? Well, basically the only thing I can do is give you advice based upon my own personal experience. So here goes. When it comes to you doing research, good on you. That is exceptional. That's what you really, really need. Because back in my day, when I started with handguns, you pretty much just had a couple of choices. It was called Colt and Smith & Wesson, and they were revolvers, or you had like a 1911 style of gun. But that was about it. We did not have the wide variety that exists today in the shooting sports. So when it comes to the magazines, let's talk about that for a second. Have you ever read a bad review in a magazine when it comes to any kind of a firearm? Probably not. I don't recall that I've ever seen one that's just like, oh, that pistol was just a dog, I'd never buy it. I was malfunction junction from here to there. No. And why is that? Well, quite simply, advertising revenue. These people that are getting their reviews done, they're keeping the magazines in business. They're paying for that ad revenue, and it's expensive. When it comes to stuff on the internet, a lot of times you're running across people that just simply have personal bias. They like one brand and one brand only, and that is all you're going to hear. Others, sometimes they're in a unique position where they actually get what's called a T&E gun sent to them, which is for testing and evaluation. And so it's kind of like a mixed bag of chips, but nothing is going to do anything like you actually getting your hands on a gun, because you can look at them all you want, but until that gun actually goes into your hand and you feel how it fits or how it doesn't fit, that right there is the thing, my friends. So my advice to you, go to your local gun shops and handle as many of these things as possible. See how they fit. Does it fit your hand? Can you get a good grip on it? Does it seem comfortable? Is it too heavy? Is it too thin? Is it too wide? Do you like the trigger? Do you not like the trigger? There are so many things that you're not going to really understand until you get your hands on it. And I would stay with a major manufacturer, like say a Glock, a Smith & Wesson, Beretta, Sig Sauer, somebody like that, because you want to have good customer service. But don't believe everything that you read. Don't believe everything that you see on the internet. Go out there, actually try it yourself to see if it fits you. Because as an example, I know a woman that because of her hands, the only thing that really works for her is the 1911. This is the only thing that she can actually grip and get a good grip on it. And it works for her, so good. I'm glad that she did the research, but these are what she likes. This is what she can shoot, and shoot it accurately. So let's also talk from an element of concealed carry and getting a gun and stuff like that, and I'll try to be as quick about this as possible. Not only when you buy your first firearm are you going to get a gun, you are going to need a holster. And holsters, they don't give them away. So what kind of holster are you going to use? Chances are you might not know since you're new to it. Do you like leather holsters, or do you like something like this that is Kydex? Again, try them if at all possible. some gun shops actually have bargain bins where people have traded things in like this, and they've just kind of got them tossed in there, and they're available for $5 or something. A lot of folks have drawers full of these things because they're trying to find the holster that works right for them. But this is going to be an investment. You're also going to have an investment in magazines, and they don't give those away either. So you're not just buying the firearm. You need to buy a holster that works for it, and you're also going to buy extra magazines. So that's something else to take into consideration. And also it depends, what can you carry? What is your physical frame like? Can you carry a heavy firearm like this and do it comfortably all day long? Maybe, maybe not. Why are single stack 9mm firearms very popular these days, like this Glock 43? Well, quite simply, it's just because they're easier to carry. They are a lot thinner than this Glock 19, as an example, and they're easy to carry. Often it makes it a lot more comfortable, and if people are comfortable carrying something, they will go with something smaller. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there that'll just say that capacity is king and you need something that's got like 20 rounds for it or something like that. In a practical standpoint, when I was in law enforcement and I had a revolver, I had 6 shots. So 6 shots, that was my capacity. I had extra ammunition on me, on my duty belt, but I had 6 rounds. I was comfortable with that. So something like this single stack 9mm Glock, this does not bother me whatsoever. And I should talk about something else. A lot of people have problems with their pinky finger being underneath here. Now, a lot of that is up here, because you can still shoot these things accurately with your pinky finger not in contact with anything. It is just simply about training. So just see if it is something that you like, if it works well for you or not. This Glock that I have right here, and you know, I'm not a Glock fanboy. I just simply get whatever works for me and what is within my budget. This Glock right here is a Glock 19, and I know that with this, that I have been able to ring steel at 100 yards with this, just in this configuration. And for whatever reason, everything kind of came together just fine on this gun. So I'm going to step back here a little bit so you can see me extend it out. But even with one hand, I can sit here with this gun and I can go ahead and I can pull that trigger, and it's very, very smooth. This thing has the smoothest trigger of any particular Glock that I've ever owned. And you know, why is that? I can't really tell you, but it works for me. Let's see, I'm left eye dominant here, so it doesn't matter which hand that I use. I mean, it is just very, very smooth. So this works good. I plan on hanging onto this thing for a long, long time, but I don't know exactly what it is. It's one of those things that's hard to define. Let's take something like this Sig Sauer P229. Now this is thicker than a Glock. The action is also different. This is called a DACA or DASA, meaning double action, single action, which means that the very first trigger pull is going to be like a revolver, where double action, it's pulling the hammer back and then it fires. Now the advantage to this is you've got a heavier trigger pull weight to begin with, which will add some modicum of safety. I like the fact on the SIGs that they have this decocker right here, but this works out well for me. Maybe that's because I came out of revolvers. So you take that first shot. The advantage to this is if the round does not fire, you have restrike capability, which means that I can just simply do this one more time. Once it fires, then it resets and we go into single action mode, which then goes just like this. But the thing is, you need to see how this feels in your hand. Does it work okay for you? Can you carry the additional thickness of this? I guarantee you, every gun that I have showed you feels different in my hand, and it would feel different in your hands. Your hands are not the same as mine. You might have longer fingers, you might have shorter fingers, and that is going to dictate what you can and cannot handle. So, go to your local gun shop, handle them. Don't be afraid to take several minutes and just simply handle the gun and see how it fits in your hand. Now, if you have a salesperson that is trying to pressure you into buying something right there on that spot, just say, sorry, I'm just looking at the moment, and walk away and go to another gun store and handle more. Better yet, if you have an indoor shooting range in your area that they have rental guns, rent them first. Rent anything that you want and try it before you buy it, because then you'll begin to notice the differences in them. What I can't show you is I can't show you that the recoil impulse on a Glock 19 versus a Smith & Wesson MP3 or a Smith & Wesson MP9 is completely different. That's something that I can't show you, but I know it exists because I've experienced it, and you need to experience that too for yourself. And every one of them is different. It's going to behave differently for you, but if you handle them enough, you'll get an idea, okay, this works for me, this works within my budget. And then after you've made that purchase, my next recommendation is to get training. Go beyond your concealed carry class. Get training. And by training, I mean not just putting rounds downrange and on paper, but also get training on how to draw properly, how to carry properly. Learn more about the laws in your jurisdiction, in your area, but get training. Do dry fire exercises, where you're just simply manipulating that gun and you're getting very used to the trigger. And it can be as simple as just sitting, doing this to figure out how that thing feels to you. Now, obviously, you're going to do this with something that is unloaded. In an ideal world, get something like a CERT that is a laser trainer, but practice, practice, practice. Get training. Training is an investment, and it's an investment in you. It's an investment toward your skills and toward your safety, because having people that are not trained, that can present its own set of problems. But anyway, I hope this helps. I hope that it answers some of the questions that you might have. But don't be afraid to go to a gun shop and just, ask to hold something and see how it feels for you. See if, does this work? Can I actually manipulate the slide? A lot of people can't pull the slides back on some guns just because of the way that they're made. But anyway, I could turn this into a long TV show, and I'm not going to do that to you. But thanks for the questions. I always appreciate those. Thanks for watching, and until next time, everybody, have a good one and be safe out there.